Yes, and now we have Nico. Nico's one of my favorites. First, we have Blood for Blood. On KO, restore 282 health to Nico or an ally selected randomly. If target has full health, plus 70 damage. If target has full health, it made a lot of sense to put that on there because most of the time when this card would pop up, targets would be at full health, and that's precisely why that damage bonus is on there. Next up is Curse. For Curse, it's kind of random what status effect you're actually going to apply to an enemy, so it made more sense to buff the base damage of this card, and that's precisely why the numbers are in green on it. You can apply Stun, 2 Marked, 2 Vulnerable, or 2 Weak, which is selected at random. So, since it's selected at random, you might as well maximize your damage because you never know what debuff that is going to put on the enemy, so you might as well have the added damage for it. And then next up is Blood Magic. You can apply 2 Blood Magic, counter Fast or Strengthened to Nico or an ally. Draw one of their cards. On redraw, gain 141 block. There were times where I did not have to use this card, but I needed to redraw it in order to give her some extra block. And that's precisely why that's on there and why I decided on that roll, because it's what the situation called for. Next up, you have Double Up. Generate a copy of each attack, skill, or heroic in your hand, selected randomly when drawn, plus 2 redraws. Again, this is another good card to have because it helps you draw up more cards because it's going to draw a copy of them. Restore. Restore all health. If target has less than 50% HP, do not discard. Apply too fast. So while you're healing them, you are also reducing the amount of heroism it's going to take when you apply too fast to said hero you're restoring health to. Very useful. Next up is Empower. Draw a heroic card. Change the cost of all heroic cards in your hand to 0 until the end of turn. So essentially what Empower does is it reduces the heroism cost of all of your cards that are in your hand to 0. So say you were in a situation, a very bad situation, to where you needed to knock out a villain or a boss that turn or deal a heavy amount of damage to them before one of your allies gets downed. That's exactly what this card is here for. And in the event you just needed some extra block and you don't need to use it or can't really use it until you draw more cards, you can redraw it to gain 141 block. Next is Crack the Sky. Consume all heroism to damage random enemies X times, 1 for each heroism. Okay, so the way this card works is that the more heroism you have generated, the more damage it is going to do. And since this card is centered all around damage, it made sense to modify the card to have the base damage modified and upgraded as well, which is why those numbers are in green. And if you notice, it has 282 base damage. Next, of course, is Witch Storm. Target an enemy, damage them or random nearby enemies 4 times, recover 141 health. This is a nice little area of effect ability to have because not only can you deal damage to nearby enemies that are targeted in the area, you can also recover health from using this.